So currently my golf swing feels remarkably good, and it feels very simple at the moment for me to set up. I've got a nice swing thought, and generally speaking, I'm striking the ball well, hitting the ball at target without too much shape, and it all feels very, very easy. But sometimes that's the most dangerous place for a golfer to be. So the other day, I was just practicing my favourite drill, which really helps me get a feel for that impact position and delivering the club correctly, where I kind of just set up as normal, feel like I swing to waist height, and definitely for me, feel like I keep the club face looking down at the ball, and then turn my body out the way. And I noticed when I started doing it, I kind of struggled a little bit, which seemed a bit weird because normally that's the drill I go to that gets me striking it well, and then the full swing feels really easy. So I decided if I was finding that hard, I'd pop hack motion on, and there's a great little drill on there that I've started using to make sure that I'm getting this initial bit of the takeaway and impact more consistent to help me hit more shots like that first one. Now let me show you the drill and show you how tough I find it, even though I'm swinging great. Right, so it's the static release drill on the app. So you turn that on, capture your address, run through the setup. So you need to just calibrate correctly to begin with. Start the drill. And it's really good for me because I don't want to be perfect, but I do want to make sure that practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. And if you're working on the wrong stuff, it doesn't always help. Now, it's picked one of my swings up there anyway. So, I'm going to rehearse where I'm back to. So that was too extended. So, I'm going to go back again. So lower those arms, everything's good. Now I need to hit the shot. Straight away, that's what I noticed the other day. So swing back, and definitely shows that I've already got too much kind of knuckles down. So too flex. To feel that toes a little bit more up. Then hit the ball. Now it's interesting there, so that's a great example. So the first thing it showed me was that I was too flexed on the way back and much too flexed at impact. Now I'll be honest, that's what I've worked on a lot, trying to make sure that I'm not kind of extending the wrist too much during the swing, because that's when I tend to get very handsy. So straight away there, I'm just going to run through this at full speed now and see how I do. That's interesting. That's the first one. It definitely found that hard to get that feel of halfway back, and certainly impact feels a little bit different. So let's see now I've got those, if I can work through that a little quicker. Good, really, really different. Definitely feels when I get it wrong, I get into that good position there, but I kind of pull the handle too much and see too much shape. Definitely the good ones feel like, and it is a feel thing, like the club head kind of catches the hands up a bit more. So even as good as that one is, we see still not quite there. But the numbers are good, even though I'm a little bit out, there's still good shots. So I've got 2 more with the practice drill. Again, some really good numbers. That last one, a good one to finish, even though that's just drifting a little out to the right. And like I said, as I was working through that there, definitely feels for me like I want to be too much that way. So it definitely feels in the app like it just wants me to let that toe just rotate a little bit more that way. And then instead of dragging the handle forward like that, I want to feel like I actually just keep a little bit more shape and feel like the club head kind of overtakes my hands a little bit earlier. Now, the thing I always look for when I'm actually swinging my best, the numbers on TrackMan there for that last little pitch shot, even though the club face was slightly open, I want my low point to be ahead, my swing direction to be slightly left. Low point ahead means the club's moving down. It gives me a very neutral path and then a nice neutral club face. So I'm now going to take that little feel that I've just worked on, because this feels like my favourite drill, just next level. And can I hit a couple of full ones, get that feel, and get an even better shot? I mean, felt good, just drifting a little bit out to the right. So I love the low point, love the speed, swing direction's great, path, good, club face a little open. Now, I'll be honest, for someone who's kind of drawn the ball and hooked the ball in the past, I actually just like seeing maybe that little bit of curve, and this is definitely showing that when you're swinging it well and hitting lots of good shots, sometimes a bit of complacency creeps in, and as good as I was playing, I can see some of the movements I've worked on I'm overdoing, and maybe some of the movements I'm working or haven't worked on are kind of slipping a little bit back. So this just gives me a nudge back in the right direction, so I can aim maybe a yard or 2 left of target, get that little feel, and really stand up there and just hit that lovely soft fade. Again, great speed, low point ahead, clubs travel down. My path and face are incredibly neutral. And it definitely gives me something to focus on. I know golfers say, surely having nothing to think about at all is perfect. I'm not sure about thinking about nothing. I like to have something to be working on so I can kind of own my golf swing. So that just gives me a heightened little awareness of just letting that club face work a little differently on the way back, and then a little differently with the way I'm releasing the club. And then if I can stand up there, get that feel, still feels very easy, feels very, very repeatable. Lovely and neutral delivery on TrackMan. And remember, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. Practice makes perfect, wasn't easy for me to say, but as long as you're working on the right things, and if you can get some good feedback, and I use this in my coaching and for my own game, it's really good to give you some awareness on what's going on with that lead wrist, how you control that club face, and it's amazing how when we control that club face better, all of a sudden the path gets better, and it's not about being completely 0-0 on TrackMan and neutral. It's about having some very small margins to operate in. And then if you can swing the club consistently, strike the ball consistently, you're going to start hitting some of the best and most consistent shots of your life.